Oh boy. And I'm already having difficulties. Ain't that fun? What in the fuck did I do? I broke it. Simply put, I just break everything I touch. I'm just being scuffed queen. Nothing new. Uh,
Fair enough.
so I already went ahead. I made a character. Watched the beginning intros. There's YouTubes for that if people, don't know what the fuck that looks like. This game's been out for a few years now. And yes, I'm playing on Honored mode. I have a few mods, nothing that like changes much, really. It's just, God, I hope it doesn't change much. I am gonna be biting dirt if it does. Horrifying idea. Alright, Jesus Christ, what am I doing? I don't even know. I am still trying to figure things out. There we go. Alright, let's rip my head off. Alright, I almost forgot. Holy shit. Oh. And here we are. This piece of shit character I made. So, for those who tune in and don't know, whenever it came to making Val as a character, I originally created her as a D&D character sheet just to at least have a reference point and such to work with. Val was a Whisper Bard, which are basically like Scion Bards. We don't have those in this game, so
Another
I'll have
step
to make do with
forward.
whatever the fuck subclass I can whenever we get to that point. Knowing my luck, probably going to be Sword, because I'm basic bitch, and don't know how to do anything creative and original. That's a fat
No
lie,
traps,
but
please.
being creative and original is hard. What in the heck was that?
No.
What the fuck was that noise? Where did you choke on? Why are we so quiet? I don't understand. Why are you quiet? Why are you quiet? You shouldn't be. Is it quiet for the stream too, or am I crazy?
It's not
I don't
too
know.
quiet.
Is it quiet? What the fuck? Why is... Oh, hold on. Let me check the actual computer settings. It will do that. Yep, it turned itself down. Fucking asshole. There we go. That should be a bit better.
So,
Welcome
who's
to
joining you in
BG3.
game?
No one. It's a solo play.
Good here, I hope.
Yeah, fair.
It's also
Good.
modded, so I don't think you guys want to install mods because
Here we go.
Tina, you know that I'm fine installing mods.
it's meant to be a solo play, so I can play whenever the fuck I'm streaming.
Fair enough.
Because
And
I
I
know
can
how you
afford you
guys
to
are.
play.
Yeah.
What is it? It's this one, right? The one that gives
The
the
schematic of a nautiloid
schematic of the
flashes
Nautiloid.
into
There
your
we go.
mind.
So that'll be useful for
Nerves,
later.
sinews,
Yeah, if you don't know,
as much living being
all
as
you need to do is just
shadow.
tap this one right here. I don't know why they highlight this one in particular, but there's one right next to this brain jar. If you listen to this later on, there's a merchant who will give you a complete discount for the schematics, like 30% off. And he's known for selling some good shit, is all I'm gonna say.
Help us.
Spicy shit.
Yes, you've come to save us from this place. From this place, you'll free us.
The exposed brain quivers in expectation.
Please. Before they return. They return.
I love how your neck is just like, oh.
A newborn. Born new from this husk.
You realize you're talking to an intellect devourer, a minion of the mind flayers who abducted you.
Remove us from this body. From this case. Free us. Please.
You notice edema, a swelling of the brain causing pressure where it strains against the shell of the skull.
As a matter of fact, where the fuck is my dice? Sure, we'll do this one because, you know, ghostly green.
The brain lifts from the skull, but you notice an opportunity. You could cripple the strange creature, making it more subservient should it prove a threat.
Nah.
We are free. Our freedom is ours, friend.
The creature pauses,
It's a dog.
listening. Something behind your eyes
It's a boy!
senses in
A
recognition.
baby is born!
We must go to the helm. At the helm, we are needed. To the helm we go. We are going to the helm.
So, for those who don't know, if you look at our dear friend here and press I, you notice that there's this debuff on him called Newborn. If you didn't know, if you notice the timer's going down, if you just wait, that debuff goes away. But what it does, it will impose
These things have
disadvantage
stayed
on all of us's attacks.
Need to find a way forward.
It's supposed to be like like you're rushing way too fast, or not even like that. It's supposed to be like you're supposed to immediately go here, interact with Elizal, and it's supposed to be like a way for us to not just storm wreck through everything up here. But yeah, no, if you just wait, it's no biggie. And I'm starting to show that I've been playing this game since day one.
Like 400 hours in it.
I think so, actually. Let me check. What the fuck does my Steam say?
Well, no, I do.
I'm trying to check. I never even checked. We're looking at 680, which
And
is
your
still not enough
skin
to say something.
tingles. Visions rush past. a dragon's wing.
Those are like
silver
200
sword,
plus more than mine.
and a flash of your face.
Yeah.
You know,
seen through the strange woman.
I just had a
To be fair,
horrible
though,
idea.
most of it was on the beta.
Yeah. Although they did actually cut some things out from the beta, like for example,
Oh yeah, no, they did. What was
this
the
scene
character's
here
name?
after. Well, actually, I was gonna say this scene here where you meet Lizelle.
We might
Yeah.
survive.
You weren't supposed to go into the ship originally. The original path was you would jump around the side, jump up onto the main deck, and then
you
go
go
down.
out from the helm that way. Yep.
First,
Yeah, and then you would go down into the ship that way.
Yep.
Okay, to get to the helm.
They felt it
They
was way
complete-
like it was a good tutorial. Don't get me wrong, but like
Yeah.
it's very confusing for someone who doesn't know what they're doing.
Yeah. Like, I kind of still would have preferred them doing that, but because it seems a little bit more cinematic to the moment, if that makes sense, than what we get. But I also kind of understand the change because, like, it's like you said though, if you have no idea what you're doing and Baldur's Gate is like your first RPG or whatever, it is confusing as fuck.
Fury, I am death.
Alright, you're gonna notice very much that I organize my villages and stuff.
Oh yeah, no, that's actually normal, Jackie. That's a normal thing with streams. Each stream has about a 3 to 5 second delay, from what I remember reading up on. It has to do with how the stream is encoded.
That sounds like a skill issue to me.
Shit.
What path lies before me?
What am I doing?
I don't know, you tell me.
Yeah, you tell me.
Can't fix it.
But yeah, like Baldur's Gate has undergone a lot of changes. 'Cause, like, I remember back whenever the game just ended at Act 1.
Dude,
Like,
alright, I don't know if people know this, but the Guardian, I think, is what they're dubbed now. They used to be called the Lover. Actually, no, sorry, the fans
Yeah.
actually dubbed the Lover an actual name. The names cannot. And by the way, if you look in the codes, the developers actually changed her. By the way, the Lover is canonically only female. I wonder why. Everyone thinks either women or lesbians are hot. So, but anyways, I was hot before it was cool, guys. I promise.
Get out before it's too late.
Anyway,
What were they saying? Yeah, canonically, the Lover, or before the. What the fuck am I? What the fuck is this? This isn't normal here.
the Guardian. The hell?
Oh right, loot is 100% randomized now.
Oh.
Oh.
So it's also a randomizer.
Not really a randomizer, but more like all of my loot in the game. Like there's a chance that you can find like legendaries and stuff.
Right.
I don't want to touch that, so I'm actually horrified of knowing what the fuck that is. I'm afraid
Huh.
of touching some mods because like I'm afraid I'm gonna break something. I'm prone for doing
Yeah.
that too, so it's like no surprise.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
like they're
I'm just a basic human because I couldn't find like a good reborn that actually like worked. And then once I actually hit like level 3, I'll take a look at what classes I have with these mods. If I can find a good College of Whisper, I might, wait up on that. But that's if I can
Yeah.
find one.
But yeah, like other changes that they made to the game was, let's see here. The game used to end at Act 1. Like you would get to like the goblin fight, you'd finish the goblin camp, and then the game would end.
I mean, yeah, it was fucking beta.
Yeah.
On top of that, what the fuck was I gonna say?
I also remember that fight always being like super fucking hard for no reason in the beta. Like using the core party of D&D. You know, a thief, mage, fighter, and a cleric. you know?
Okay,
I always
hold on. What the fuck?
Good. What did you find?
On.
Not that. I know what that is. Oh, it's an instruction. Okay.
Oh, you found an instruction manual in the starter chest.
And that's just to help with glitches and stuff in some certain mod. Alright. Gotta take it slow, you know?
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's another thing I just found.
But as I was saying though, like that fight used to be a lot harder.
I never really found it hard.
Specifically with like the Razglin part of the fight.
Again, I never found any of the fights hard, if I can be honest. It was, once you know the functions of the game, you're pretty much good.
Fair enough.
Did I not pick up the fucking key? Did I not loot you? No, I did. Where the fuck did I not loot? There is a key here.
And maybe it's my fault for wanting to approach it like, you know, the original Baldur's Gate, you know?
That would be it. No, for me, I've never really found... Like I said, I've been playing this game on modern mode since it came out.
Speaking about Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, we should play that at some point.
I have them.
I have them too. When the fuck are we gonna play them?
Oh, I see how it is. Alright. Just pick it up then, I guess. No biggie.
The console
It's the
hums
fuck
to life.
of the world as we know it.
Let's not get me copyright, please.
Nothing
Sorry.
in the appearance of the device betrays it. Suddenly, then discomfort fades, and another sensation
Satina, you get a hug.
washes over you.
Hell yeah.
You feel a shiver.
Mine.
At last. Thought I was done for.
Also, by the way, I had a horrible idea. Harry Potter.
You keep dangerous company. Let me come
Harry
with you.
Potter having a fucking sniper rifle wand.
You know, they
Potter
already made
with
like a
guns
Harry
is a
Potter with
thing.
guns. I was gonna say, you're
Well,
Harry
yeah.
Potter with guns.
No, it's not actually a gun. What it is it's just like a stick with a scope on it.
Oh.
Hold on, I'll be right back. You might be hearing some background noise from turning on the fan. Hey, dude, it's hot as balls today. It is absolutely blitzing. Anyways,
Blitzing
yo.
like the reindeer. Like the reindeer.
And the robes look stupid, actually.
Simple jerking.
Circle jerking, is that what you just said?
No, simple jerking.
Mm-hmm. Sure, buddy. Okay, so for those who don't know, an easy way to deal with this fight, if you're not playing in honor mode, you can change the difficulty whenever you're not in honor mode. When you come into this fight right here that I'm about to go into, change the difficulty all the way down to the easiest, and then immediately turn it back up to whatever difficulty you want it to be on. So I don't know if you know this, certain specific named individuals will be forced to have lower HPs whenever you're playing on the easiest difficulty. However, if you turn the difficulty back up, it does not change their current HP, it only changes their max. So Commander Zarpedon over here has 30 less HP if you do that. Well, I'm on honor mode, so I can't really do that. But for those who want this fight to be easier and to get the achievement for killing him and the achievement for getting the sword, because those are two individual achievements. Uh, yeah, you can make it so much more easier by doing that.
We are nearing the hill.
Again, I'm on honored
Let's
mode, so
take
I'm
it
more than likely
clean.
going to just probably make him drop the sword and call it good. But before I do that, I would like to go use the bathroom real quick. Sorry, I did just say it. So I will be right back. Entertain him. Entertain him, you two, somehow.
Ding a ding a durgan.
Alright. Sorry about that. Ah, fuck. Hey, look, 25 minutes in, we're still in the fucking tutorial.
Like that sometimes.
Yeah, just lazy.
Do it.
Aren't we all?
Roll. No, I'm not playing World of Warcraft, buddy. I think you got the wrong game.
Out of here. Now.
Who said this was World of Warcraft?
Well, the fucking Mind Flayer says it's Raw.
Oh,
So I jokingly said, hey buddy, this isn't World of Warcraft.
fair enough.
I am fury. I am death.
Oh well.
Ready. Have to keep going.
Every time I hear someone cast Sacred Flare or Sacred Flame, I always hear Nintendo. Jesus Christ, that much
Yeah,
closer. Fuck.
yeah, I can see that.
50% chance that we had a
Well,
Shiva.
it's 50-50. Damn.
Time to strike. My path be true. Can't give up. Onward.
Ignore the devil. We must take the transponder.
Swift and lethal. Taking position. What lies within? I'm ready.
Kill them, or your spine is mine.
If this ship hits the ground, we're dead.
Listen here. We make better strangers. I will ascend. What's the plan?
Let these intruders away. The furnace is ours.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck I was expecting.
Taking position.
Still breathing, despite everything. At the ready.
Shit, I didn't mean to turn.
Got to keep fighting. On my way.
Take this ship, or it's your turn now.
Into healing.
I mean, he did it himself. Don't even look at me for that one.
Yeah, also, can I just say that, like, Shadowheart isn't that bad of a character?
Oof.
These boots have
For
seen
me, it just comes
everything.
down to, like, you have better options. It's just the
I mean,
or the Trickster domain,
yeah,
really.
like, reclass her into, like, life or something.
No,
Yeah.
reclass her into fucking... What is the other one that's, like, really good?
Tempest?
War.
Tempest, that's it. No, I don't think War's
Yeah.
in this.
Well, that's because, like, Tempest, you can just absolutely fucking break
Yeah, you
very
can break the
easily
game.
and very quickly. Yeah, because it's like, what? If you have a Tempest Cleric and you have, like, that staff that creates water, You know what
That's
I
not
mean?
even what breaks the game, by the way.
Yeah, but I know that like. Oh yeah, isn't it like if you have, what is it like the storm sorcerer?
No.
Where they're
Storm
called?
Sorcerer can help, but the whole point here is that you're taking, I think it's one level into Tempest, the rest you're putting into fucking Paladin.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
Thundering Smite is all you need.
Okay. Like I remember hearing though that like, what was it like there. It's one of the Tempest ones, but like anytime that they do electrical damage,
I need to reach the
they can just max it out for no reason.
Yeah,
The
that's
Helm's
Cleric.
Yeah.
alien
And
Okay,
transport.
that
then
was the
it
clear.
is
Yeah.
sort, and then one level is the sorcerer to get the if you use a thunder or lightning spell, you gain flying speed as a free action. And then you can also combine that with paladins, fucking thundering or storming smites to just absolutely ridicule one entire target. It's really fucking gross, actually.
Hmm.
It's disgusting.
But yeah, like my whole. But yeah, no, like I remember hearing about that shit, and like really early on, whenever they first added in like Tempest and Tempest Cleric and Sorcerer, where I was like, oh yeah, no, you could do like 400 plus damage in a single turn, just by getting an enemy wet and then shocking the fuck out of them.
Alright, so yeah, that mod's working. So there's a mod where there's like a merchant who will follow you around, and as you progress, you can like sell and buy from them at your camp.
Uh, Also, I did not mean for that to come out as horny as that did. Get the enemy
What?
wet and shock
As
the
you
fuck
wait,
out of
the
them.
tadpoles
I
draw
mean,
up a little
I
of a
didn't take it
tadpole.
that way. I
Yeah, I
I
think that's just a you thing, Nix.
think you did that to yourself. Also, what the fuck?
I did. Well, good thing you have the adult filters on, right?
Yeah.
That's not what I'm what the fucking. That's a
Just
lot
a
of
bunch
shit I
of
can grab. I can grab four? What the fuck?
damn.
Alright, what the fuck do all this do? Light Piercer. Shot to the heart. Oh my gods. Plus 1 to 6 from this weapon. It deals damage against the full HP. Yuck. By disguising, you restore. By disguising as an action or bonus action, you gain an additional bonus action. That's kind of nice. When you make your first attack of the round, you can reduce the weapon's enchantment by 1, increasing your armor class and saving throw by 1. That would kind of be awesome on Karlach later. We're gonna grab that one. In the first round of combat, you gain Tailwind that increases your ranged weapon attacks and by 2, and do an additional cold damage by 1d4. Let's see here. Archer's Mark. Whenever making a ranged weapon melee attack in combat, rolling a successful intelligence will give you an arcane arrow. I can't even get the heroics one. I can't even use that. At the start of combat, you are covered with a fog that protects you. Gaining resistance to piercing damage. That's alright, I guess. The wearer casts a spell that deals poison damage. It deals additional poison damage. Oh shit. Quinn would love, or Kira would love that. At the start of combat, your allies in mental control. Excuse me. What the fuck does that mean? I want to know what the fuck the mental control effect is. Whatever. I can't check it. Crits with the attack deal an additional 1d4. When you deal damage to a bleeding foe, you can turn your next attack into a crit. That's interesting, but I sure don't care. I guess I also need to think about what fucking party do I plan on using, because, like, I'm trying to think, like, well, who's taking what subclass? Ironically, I am going to reclass Will into a Hexblade, and I might redo Shadowheart as... I'll have to see what other subclasses are available, but I might be reclassing those too. Gale, I'm going to probably make into, weirdly enough, Divination this time. And then Karlach, I will probably just go the bare minimum Bruise. I keep forgetting Astarian's a character. Let's see here. Toggle to enforce your invocations. With Weaver's Power, they are expended to a first level spell, or they expend one spell slot, or first level spell slot, but also deal an additional damage. If a cantrip misses successfully, you regain the spell slot. Okay. I kind of like the Astral Mark one. I like the boots, and this one just gives a Scorching Ray at second level, which is like, that's hard to ignore. I can't confirm it, can I? Oh, there's like a confirm button here, and I can't click it because... Hold on a second. What if I just do this real quick? No, is that not gonna help? That's not gonna help shit, is it? I would just stretch and pull the screen a little bit. Nope, that didn't help at all. Um, I can't do anything. I might actually be soft lock here.
No, no.
That's fun. I'm soft locked. I can't get rid of like my HUD here, so it's like,
You can't. Hold on, hold
well,
on.
I'm doing everything I can to try and close it or whatever, but I can't do it.
Can
There's like a
you
button like
lower?
right here, and I can't click it.
Here, lower your menu, your UI.
What do you mean by lower your UI? That's not a thing.
Your hotbar.
Oh yes, lower my heart. Oh yeah, that is a thing. Dude, I play with my hotbar always at 3. Like, leave me alone. Leave me the fuck alone.
I love how I did like just lower your hotbar. You're like, wait, what?
Oh, I know I have to do this because of... Oh, and I have no fast travel points. Well, shit. I guess we're taking a long rest. Sakes.
A calm night is a mercy. Every time they flicker shut, the tadpole dragons, Gith, and the hells themselves have come after you. Yet it is this creature that lingers in your skull.
Damn, I'm fucking that one.
The thought is punished by a spite the agony refused.
Well, we gotta do it every time we make a new playthrough. Always have to
How
do
much
it.
further can I go?
Yeah.
Gotta sit on the music rock. While we're listening to music rock, let's all I'm also trying to think of like spells that she would have in canon. I know she was a level 6. Let me go check her sheet real quick. Maybe I had spells listed there. Did I pop open a soda? Yes, I actually do have spells. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, Unseen Servant's on her spell list, so we're gonna grab that one. How the fuck does it work in this game? I'm actually curious. Yeah, it's basically just better mage
Ever
hand.
believe this?
But yeah, we're gonna try and reclass fucking Shark.
Anything of use?
I'm not even sure what kind of clerics there are. Like I said,
Well,
I don't even know what classes are. Oh right, if you leave her behind, if you don't interact with her immediately, she goes right to the fucking druid camp.
what's hiding here?
I was like, I hope they don't do that with everyone. I know Gale stays there until you actually interact with him.
Yeah. In fact, I actually missed Tarlac on my first playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, and there's no way to like go back
Had
to her
to
because once
find a
you like
hole.
leave the area, you're shit out of luck.
But once you get to
There must be a
Act
settlement somewhere
2,
nearby.
like you can still go back to um, Act 1, but she just won't be
But
there.
she's yeah, because all of the quests and it literally warns you that you can return this area, but all the quests and procedurals will not be interactable.
Yeah, and I
It
guess
does
I just
warn you.
didn't read that.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, that sounds like my depression. Ghana. Like, let's be honest, everyone who's played this game has done this, where they just become loot wars.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. There we go. Sorry.
More of those wretched things.
Fuck the instant servant. It's all the way back over here. God damn it. Go on, summon yourself, buddy.
With haste. If everyone else minds their business, I'll be fine. On my way.
Alright, I'm gonna abuse the fuck out of turn-based. So if you use dash before entering any form of combat or encounter, your dash still carries through, but it's not part of your action, as long as, again, you didn't use it as an action as part of turn-based mode. So by hand, you could just dash, quickly enter turn-based mode, and if you notice, my dash is still there. even though I still have an action. Again, I'm playing on the hardest difficulty, so expect me to cheese stuff and make encounters much more bland and easier for me. And you know what the best part is? Dash does stack in this game. So if I were to dash, move, like so, and then dash again, I do gain more movement for it. So I can just completely ignore these intellect powers, just for now, I'm not really in the mood for fighting them by myself.
Never wanted the easy path.
Come here. I need help.
As a matter of fact of doing stuff by myself.
Hurry. I've got one of those brain things cornered. There, in the grass. You can kill it, can't you? Like you killed the others? I was hoping for a kind
Like
soul.
you killed the others. Bitch, I didn't kill any. That's the fun part about this encounter. I don't have to fight them. I love how they expected you to fight the ones up ahead, but like here, no, I don't do that.
I've always headbutted him.
I saw you. What did you and those tentacled freaks do?
You know? Because, like, I'm sorry, the dude has a knife to my throat. He fucking deserves it.
Yeah, like, I'm trying to play this as much as, like, she would, as, Val would.
It's those tentacled monsters. They took you and to think.
But even you agree with me that, like, he fucking deserves to get punched.
I mean, maybe you're into it. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, in Val's case, just manipulate and use people to your full advantage. These party members in her eyes are just a resource that's meant to be burned.
Is that so?
They're only as useful as they are alive. Once they're dead. And by the way, I am doing standard, like, hardcore. If a companion dies, they are dead forever. There's no reviving.
Someone that can control these things. There might still be time. Well, yes, of course. But first things first.
Rules are this. I can use companions as much as I need to, as much as I want to. When they die, they are dead forever, and I may, if I need to replace a companion, I have hirelings available. However, for hirelings, I actually have something else in mind, and
you know,
if you've seen movies before, you might know what I had in mind. But for now,
careful.
We have ourselves our first elven boyfriend, I guess. So, genuine thoughts, whenever we get these companions, I want to go over them. My thoughts on Astarion have always been the same, since the very first, beta. I'm not a fan of him. I love him as a character, but personally, compared to the others, I always felt he's lacking, because you only really get to experience the true Astarion-ness unless you're playing as him. You only experience it towards, Chapter 3, and that's it. I'm not saying that is only it, but, give me a point to Chapter 1 and 2 where his character really does get to have depth, field, compared to the others. I don't hate him, for sure. I just feel like whenever it comes to stuff you can do with him, it's more limited.
Not as bad as it could have.
The stuff you can do with Astarion?
There's not a whole lot you can do with him.
Fair enough.
About chapter
like,
3-ish.
Astarion, though, is at least useful as a rogue if you don't have a rogue in the party.
No,
because...
that's not what I'm saying, Nick. You misunderstand. I said story-wise, he doesn't really have a lot going till chapter 3. That is
yeah,
what was said.
yeah. Sorry. I thought you were talking about him being useless in general. It's like, he's somewhat useful as a rogue, but that's about it. That's the only use I found for him. Is lockpicking.
Make it hurt.
I have a lot on my mind. And well, in it.
I love whenever the board died, it just fucking spread its ass legs wide. Anyways, free food. Hey, I forgot to cast that before after long run.
Have to keep going.
I have more movement. And the best part is that's not concentration. And it's also a ritual, meaning you can cast it on all your allies too. So that's an additional 10 feet of movement on everyone's turns, basically. I do plan on multi-classing him into. It's not sorcerer. What's the other one that has like shadow? I think shadow monk's actually in this, isn't it?
There, a mind flayer. And it's hurt.
I'd rather it be hurt.
Listen!
But do be careful.
Shall I compare thee to a sow's fart?
That is the most awkward way to die, buddy. I'm so sorry.
Monster. Death is too good for it.
There.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, Astarian's the alright guy in the group. Don't worry, there's definitely a companion I feel like is much. I'm not gonna say worse, but just like the lack of use in them is efficiently known. You know, I'm not even mentioning it when we meet them. I do think that both Minx and Jaheira in this game are the worst of companions. You don't, for starting off, you really don't need two rangers in the party. One's pretty much practical. But the idea that you have Lysel, you have Helson at that point, you have
Yeah.
Lysel and you have Astarion, they just feels like, what role do you have left for them to play? And like, let's say we just get Jaheira or we just get Minx. The problem then, though, is that like you make the other one useless.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing as
And
well
like I
is
said, they've
you're
been around
talking
since
about
PG two and three, or 1 and 2, right?
well, yeah, 1 and 2. Minsk was in 1. He
They were
was in
both in
Baldur's
1 and
Gate
2,
1.
yes.
Yeah, Minx is like one of the first party members that you can actually recruit. Who is
Jaheira
in
is
this?
actually. I think Jaheira is like the childhood friend of your character.
You're right, but Minsk
I
is
love this.
also recruitable and like, dude, I fucking love Minsk and Boo. Go for the eyes, Boo.
Perhaps I should have clarified.
Yeah.
A helping hand.
Sorry.
I don't
Anyone?
hate them.
No,
I
you're
just
fine.
they're overused. How old are they now?
Who knows? But Boo should probably be dead, considering he's a hamster, and they
Oh, he's
don't
not a hamster.
live.
He's a space hamster.
He's
There's a
not a
difference.
hamster. He's actually a miniaturized giant space hamster.
Okay, I stand corrected.
You know what's the fun part is? They're more sentient than fucking Raku or Rocket Raccoon, and
Yeah.
more smart too.
Also,
Yeah.
There is
The
no
thing
how
is-
so. Just they are.
Yeah, they are. The thing though with the miniature giant space hamsters, like once they come out of space and onto Earth, they just shrink down to miniature size.
yeah, but
They're
it's just
the
the more
smartest-
sentient than Rocket
Yeah,
Raccoon
they're-
part that I just don't understand.
They are more intelligent, and they are just as sentient, if not more, than. Sorry, they are more sentient, not sentient. They are more intelligent than. Advanced, I think, is the word I want to use here, actually.
Yeah. Here you go. Miniature giant space hamsters, sometimes called giant pygmy space hamsters or simply space hamsters, were one of the many variants of giant space hamsters that could be encountered across different worlds.
Elminster's not
Right.
around, so might
Okay.
as well.
Miniature giant space hamsters were in fact identical in size to regular hamsters. These creatures were apparently quite intelligent and had the ability to talk in whispers, though most of the time they just made normal hamster squeaks. They're considerably more intelligent than regular hamsters and possess short-range, telepathic abilities, which they kept hidden from most creatures they encountered. According to advertising brochures found in Sigil, they were gentle with children.
Yep.
So it sounds more like Cosmo
Yeah,
than Rocket Raccoon.
yeah, they're also omnivorous.
Yeah.
Alright, so what should we make Gale? What kind of wizard are we doing this time?
Yeah, okay, here we go. According to Minx, a miniature giant space hamster was a giant space hamster that was miniaturized. Like all giant space hamsters, they were not naturally evolving creatures, but were instead created by gnomes originally from Kryn. Gnomes
Anyways.
experimented with giant space hamster breeding by mixing enchanted substances from a variety of monsters into the process, which produced several varieties of giant space hamster. Among those, miniature giant space hamsters were one of the more unusual varieties. Other
Next.
sages are... Sorry.
Going off. Calm down.
Sorry.
What wizard should we make him this time?
Gale?
Yeah.
Bladesinger. I
No,
actually
I
have him
fucking
set
hate
up as a... What?
No, I fucking hate you. I hate this class. This is the
Why?
worst. This is a terrible subclass. And it's not even Larian's fault. This is just a terrible subclass in D&D as a whole. Oh yeah, you know what my wizard needed? More fighter. So why not just play Egg? You know what? Actually, you're right, Nix. We're not gonna make him a blade singer. We're gonna turn him into a fighter, and we're just gonna go fucking
Eldritch Knight.
Eldritch Knight. Yeah. For now, I guess fucking Adoration, since that's like my favorite one.
I mean, like, whenever I have changed Will's class, I have made him a Eldritch Knight.
Yeah.
Well, you made Will an Eldritch Knight?
Yeah.
Oh God, why?
I don't know. I just thought, like, if he were to be any other class, that one
You do
would
know
suit
that
him the best.
You do know that his highest stat is charisma, right?
Fair enough.
Anyway,
so in Eldritch Knight spellcasting is intelligence, right?
Yeah.
You see the problem, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
he's not built for fighter.
It's pretty
he's
black
not.
and white when you do that. Ice
I mean,
Knight
Gel-
or do we want?
Gale is a
Actually, no. Yeah, no. Hold up.
Gale isn't built to be a fighter either.
No, he's not. But with the dexterity and constitution, strangely enough, you'd believe it. You could make him dex-based fighter, and strangely enough, with his stats, they do work.
As an Eldritch Knight, just make him a dex fighter.
Yeah, I'm not even joking. He's got enough dexterity. If you just give him like level 4, give him like I don't know, what's like something that improves dex? You could give him mobile. So that's 14 to dex. That's pretty fucking decent. You can put him as a heavy armor, make him a dex-based fighter. Done. Yeah, Gale surprisingly works like that. You know what's also funny? I know you really shouldn't do this with his high intelligence and low strength. Subclass him or multi-class him, either way. Just try it out sometime. Into Barbarian, listen to the sound he makes whenever he rages. He doesn't roar, he squeals. He goes, "Eee!" That man's got some fucking vocals. Yeah, I was gonna say Thunder was gonna go. Boom. There we go. So here's a little fun infinite combo you can do with this subclass.
Alright.
So I didn't grab shield, did I? Like a dumb. We'll get rid of Witch Bolt because Witch Bolt's absolutely dog shit. I mean, Witch Bolt just genuinely is kind of bad. Let me place my fucking spell in my fucking. Why not? Why not, game? Why not? Well, I'm not trying to cast it. I'm trying. Alright, well, fuck you, I guess. Well, I can't have fucking. Alright, because shields are reaction. Alright. No wonder why it's not showing up. Alright, so here's the fun thing about this class. Cast mage armor on yourself, or the subclass. You get the arcane ward. Right? You know what's cool about that arcane ward?
What?
That takes 3 hits. Every time you take a hit 3 times in a row, damage is 0. You know what's the fun part about that? That only happens with Adoration spells. You want to know another Adoration spell? There's a spell called Shield. So you know what's the fun part about this class, or this subclass, and why I love this subclass? Take 2 levels as a wizard, the rest can go into Warlock. You are now a fucking gun. You cannot die. Or no, sorry, sorcerer, not warlock. What the fuck? Sorcerer, because you can constantly get back first level spells with sorcery points. So technically speaking, you have 3 arcane wards. You cannot die as long as you at least have one, and you can always cast shield as a reaction. Boom. Of course, the problem is you run out of fucking spell
Get over the
slots and
tunnel.
sorcery points together, then you're fucked.
Physically.
But
The thing's dangerous.
you really shouldn't be.
And if it escapes,
Yeah.
Your skull. Get rid of them.
Friends coming in clutch.
hells.
Wait, who's clutch and why is his friends coming in him?
Get me down.
No, friends is just a really good fucking spell in this game.
Fair enough.
Like people undermined it a lot.
You'll hear
I pick it over fucking what's the other one? What's the other one that everyone likes? Charm person?
Think.
This poor horse. Anyway.
The tadpole hasn't yet scrambled all your senses. Auspicious. But the longer we wait, the more it consumes. My people possess the cure for this infection. I must find a creche. You will join me. You have made an ally from Creche Kalir. Few know such fortune. Call me Lae'zel. Come. The Horned Ones mentioned a camp. One there, a creche must.
Can I just say that, like, I fucking love Geth. And I think people who always say that, like, Lae'zel's like a hard ass, welcome to fucking Get Yankee. What did you expect? First off, let's start with the obvious. Fighter's a decent pick no matter what fucking team you're playing with. It's never hurting to have a fighter, and let's be honest, for how much people may say fighter's the most basic class, you wanna know why it's basic? Because its subclasses are not. And in this game, it really does show the very much basic side of its subclasses, unfortunately. The only real use of it is champion in this case. But whenever you look at Eldritch Knight, Jesus Christ, a very powerful tanky spellcaster that's hard to ignore. You have Battlemaster, which that right there is one of the most goated subclasses in all of D&D, unfortunately. They did kind of tone it down a bit, which I feel like is fair because that is like an S rank, kind of like I will forever say it. You pin a freshly made battle master and a freshly made wizard against each other. Although you may expect the spellcaster to win, a battle master will always win, no matter what class you put them up against, no matter what subclass, with the exception of one. I do like how they fixed Arcane Archer in this game. They really did make Arcane Archer really good, and Lae'zel actually makes a perfect Arcane Archer, even with her low dex. However, there is one subclass I want to see in this game. I've seen some people mod it into the game. For fighter, I want to see an Eldritch or an Echo Knight. I love Echo Knight, and it is the most strongest subclass in all of D&D. Period. There's a reason why people banned most of Matt Mercer's stuff. Echo Knight was just the first, Chronomancy was next, and then, oh god, the fucking Cleric. Anyways.
Light on my feet.
Now I have a mod that allows me to increase the party size, but I want to try and keep it at 4 for now. Only because I want to kind of keep the game's actual balance in mind. And actually, before I do this encounter,
Don't want to draw any attention. Time to press ahead. Best get in and out.
Or someone else will
Oops. Alright, when we do that.
Staying out of sight. Unheard, unseen.
Time for a little death.
Don't you want to be rich? Of course I want to be rich, but not if it's a big deal.
Let's move.
Don't want to think about why my eye is itching. Best be on my way.
Ready for anything.
Time for a cull. Outmaneuver them. Let's have a little fun. This way.
And I misclicked.
Why am I doing this?
Still in shadow. Not one false move. What now? Have to keep going. Time to strike.
Hungry for the slaughter.
Mhm.
A rough tempest I will raise. Outflank, outsmart.
Let's turn someone inside out. Leave no trace.
Taste my fury. My path be true.
Alright. Yeah, I know I'm playing like an absolute coward here, but hear me out. I do not want to risk anything with how honored mode can be.
Oh,
Fair enough.
That right there is enough of a mistake to
Sometimes the only
get
way
us all
out
killed.
is
Moment.
yeah.
But yeah, like I don't mind having Shadowheart in my party because like it means I don't have to play cleric.
Tale for the ages.
You know?
Fair enough.
That's not really the reason why I dislike her. And like I said, I'll get to that whenever I get to the party members, whenever I actually recruit them.
I will ascend.
Yeah.
Actually,
I
I
know
mean, I
that
could cover
like
her right now. My whole thing with Shadowheart comes down to her stats are the most mixed and match for her class. She's meant to be a
like
well-rounded character, but the issue though is that she's not a good cleric because of it.
yeah, like with cleric you're supposed to have like everything in your wisdom.
Not even just every like she has like a fucking 15 in her wisdom and like a fucking 17 in her con, which I mean like, oh, we're trying to make her more tanky. No, you're fine. You don't understand how fine you are, really.
Honestly, if like they just swap those scores around, it'd be fine.
A lot more better. A lot more better. Correct.
Yeah, like just switch 2 scores and you're good. Okay,
10 times
you know,
better.
or hell, like if you really want to get like ballsy with it, take that 15 from wisdom, put the 17 from your con into wisdom, take that 15 and put it in your dex as a cleric. Okay? If you're going to be a rogue cleric, you seeing, Tina?
It's just, I don't see the use of Twilight or Trickster in this case. You could have went with,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Shadow Domain's in this, isn't it?
No. No, it is not.
What clerics are in this? Because they like added a new one.
Here, I can look it up real quick.
Yeah, you could have made her Death Domain.
Because she's an
Let's
OG
take a look
character, I'm
here.
going to go off of the original domains that were in the game, okay?
I mean,
You
hear
have
me out on this. Like,
life,
you could,
light, trickery, knowledge, nature, tempest, and war.
yes. Even with those set in mind, you could have made her easily a fucking life domain or knowledge
Yeah,
domain. Knowledge is fucking good.
yeah. I
It's
would have
just out of
rather.
all of these, I like no offense. Another one of like Matt Mercer's makings was Trickery. That is one of Matt Mercer's making. So before people say the reason why like Eldritch Knight or Echo Knight wouldn't work in this or Chronomancy wouldn't work in this is because it's one of Matt Mercer's. Trickery Domain is one of Matt Mercer's.
But yeah, no, like, here's the thing.
It's not bad later
The,
on. It's just for a cleric. It's like, why are like two of my abilities concentration based? And I said abilities, not spells.
yeah, not only that, but also, like, here's my everything, okay? And this is my personal thing, okay? I feel like trickery is a little too complicated for new players to understand in D&D.
That and just it's not the most useful too. And then
Yeah,
before you say like, oh
like,
well, the whole like you don't need everything to be useful. Not everything needs to be like built like mid max. Then why are the other characters built appropriately?
yeah, like, here's the thing. Out of the original 7 domains that Cleric had available, okay, the domains that I would recommend for new fucking players to get used to is Life. Life domain, because it's healing.
Life domain for
Okay.
healing, light domain for damage, and then knowledge domain for charisma for your more charismatic slash
Yeah. Yeah.
what I want to say like not really social, but I guess I won't not social
Yeah.
butterfly.
Well, actually, I was
Uh,
gonna say Life for healing. Okay. Light for damage. And then I
yep.
could make an argument, depending on whether or not you start with, for war domain as well. I can make an argument for that one for new players because you're basically playing a martial with the ability to heal. Okay? You just need
Okay.
to know when to back the fuck
I
up.
think we're dead here actually.
Oh gods.
Yeah. Hold on, if you
But
can get this.
But would you agree with me on that one? War domain being the argument for if you're used to martials and you know how a martial works.
Okay, Jesus Christ, that was scary.
Yeah. Sorry.
I do like how this mod makes it so whenever you're outside of combat, it just automatically succeeds your death saves instead of just continuing to fail for no reason. Holy shit, that was scary.
You do
And like I
realize
said,
that
these guys
in the
all had
base
enchanted
game.
items too. That shit was scary.
Yeah. But would you agree with me with what I said about War Domain for new players? If you're used to playing marshals.
No, you should not be playing that, in my eyes. You should not be playing that. You should be playing Paladin, if anything.
Yeah, but if you want to play a cleric, I'm looking at this of, oh, I want Shadowheart as a cleric. I'm playing this of a, we do not have withers yet. What is a good way to introduce new players to the cleric class?
You should be setting her up as a life domain.
You should be setting her up as a life.
I
would agree.
understand the RP role behind it. It's, again, that, but I still don't fully agree to it.
Yeah. And it's like I said, I can see an argument being made about Shadowheart starting off as War Domain to get people into Cleric, because War Domain, you play them almost exactly like you would a Marshal. You just have Cleric abilities. That's it.
Battle awaits.
Am I incorrect?
Sitting around.
I did not say that.
Fair enough.
I did not say you were incorrect.
Yeah.
But it's just asinine to think about. Like, real quick, just like ignoring my character alone. High strength, high con, dexterity next, a little bit of wisdom. That's perfect for a fighter.
Yeah.
High dex, con next, a little bit of intelligence, wisdom equally, strength dump, charisma left. I feel like with Astarion, that intelligence and charisma could probably be swapped, or the wisdom, honestly, probably more so.
Yeah.
Honestly, the intelligence can be dropped down to 12. This can be dropped down to 10. Put the rest of those points of 14 over here. That's pretty accurate to Astarion. I'll give it to that. Intelligence 17, con, dex, charisma. That's pretty accurate to him. And honestly, that's also appropriate for appropriate too.
Yeah. But
I just don't care for. I don't care for it, I guess.
Fair enough. But I do agree with you, though. Like, life just makes more sense just to hand to a new player. Because, like, here's the thing.
You see the word cleric, what do you think of? I think of a healer.
Yeah, I think of, like, a priest.
I don't think of trickery domain.
Yeah, I think of, like, a priest from, like, WoW. You know?
And, like, before anyone says, like, oh, I main trickery, or I like trickery domain, trickery is great. Trickery isn't bad. But you're relying on using stealth, and one of two things is what you're doing. You're relying on using stealth as a cleric, which there's nothing wrong with that. But that means you're not using cleric's full potential as a heavy caster, or a full caster. Or you're using it because you have a rogue in the party. And that, in my opinion, is how you play trickery. You're boosting up your allies. That's how cleric should be. Cleric is meant to be a bit of a support more than anything, with the exception of maybe Tempest and other hardcaster variants. I'll give them that word.
Yeah. And War. Just, dude, War.
No, War you're still boosting. War you're still boosting.
Well, yeah. You're still boosting in War, but, like, most of your boosts from whenever I play War Domain go towards myself.
Yes,
because
you're still
I'm
boosting.
the one in melee. You know?
You're still boosting.
You know?
That's what I'm saying, though. You're still amplifying you and your allies. In this case, you're just focusing on yourself.
Yeah, it's like, it's that joke about how, like, you know, oh, I'm gonna be a, you know, it's kind of like that joke about call the ambulance, but not for me. Said the cleric who pulls out a fucking Glock, right? Did someone sit there and say, you want me to hit this fucker 5 fucking times as a cleric?
The fighter calls, they want their attack actions or multi-attack back.
What path lies before me?
Yeah, well, you
No,
can
but
get...
like I said, like, I personally dislike War Cleric. It's just like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm just gonna be a paladin.
Yeah, paladin is just straight up better, but like... I mean, you kind of seen, like, the times where I've played War Cleric. It's literally because we don't have a tank, we don't have a healer.
You can
Okay?
still play cleric without a tank.
Fair enough.
And I'm sorry, but for like people who define classes is I guess the word I want to use. They want to define classes as like uh as if we're playing like a MOBA or not really a MOBA, as if we're playing like an RPG or we're playing a if we're playing like World of Warcraft and we're trying to define the classes down to that kind of style, that is very inappropriate for what again these classes are capable of. I
Yeah.
literally just shown a way where you can make a wizard just as tanky, if not more, with fucking Arcane War. It's gross that you can do that.
hmm
Because, like, what is Arcane Ward? Ward blocks damage equal to its charge level. So, yeah, you're just blocking
Yeah.
damage every time. And you can make that shit skyrocket.
And my whole thing for why I like War Cleric and why I can defend War Cleric being a thing is just because, like, it's a different flavor of Paladin where you're not a Paladin. Where you're not beholden to your oath. Where you're not... Because this is one of my problems that I have with a lot of people, well, with a lot of DMs. They never play into the idea of you could break your oath and lose it completely.
My whole thing is I do, alright, I've had a D, you know of this, I've had a DM do that
Yeah.
before. But they decided
Yeah.
to break my oath because of a god, which I remind you, my god is not part of my oath. If
Yeah.
I was a cleric, yes, my god is part of my power, and yes, losing your divinity or your devotion can be a problem. But losing your oath is not the same thing. And I get so sick of DMs who don't know the difference.
I do agree with that. And also, from my experience playing both Cleric and Paladin, losing your oath as a Paladin, or in order to since losing your fucking alignment, was always so much more punishing to the fucking player than losing your oath. Well, than losing your divinity. Because your divinity will come and go, okay?
Right, you can realign by paying X amount to your god and fucking...
Yeah.
But here's what I've always done. You don't lose your oath forever. It's, hey, see those, your spell slots? Yeah, I'm only going to tell you that you can only pick, you can only pick, you don't regenerate all your spell slots anymore. You're only regenerating half of them, just to make up for it. But the more you keep going down this path, you will not be able to regenerate them all. And as a matter of fact, why don't we just get rid of your oath abilities too? You don't even have an oath anymore. So either you can choose to oath break, and by extension you can choose to do that, or you're going to go down trying to either renew your oath, which requires you to go on like a training arc, or you're just going to have to go for a completely brand new oath.
Which is also going to be a training arc.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like one of my problems with Oathbreaker is like, you've heard me talk a little bit about how there used to be anti-paladins. Okay? For people who don't know, D&D used to have this neat little class called anti-paladin, which was basically take everything about a paladin, reverse it. Lawful becomes chaotic, good becomes evil. Okay?
I would never allow that in the campaign now. You already know my reasons for why, too.
Yeah, because most people play chaotic stupid.
No, they don't play chaotic stupid. It's that they think because their character is lawful evil that they can just take advantage of every little... It's not even just lawful evil. It's just evil in any way. They always seem to feel like they can just take advantage of everything.
Yeah. This is what I've always had to explain to people. Is you can play an evil character as long as you're playing pro-party with it. Okay?
It's always been the thing. But, you know, there's a lot of people out there that will try to take advantage of it.
Yeah, the way that I've always explained it, and this is my own personal understanding of it, is, yeah, I'm gonna do nice things for the party. For example, I have a deck of minifigs. Okay? As an anti-paladin, let's just say somehow I got my hand on a deck of many things. I don't want to be the one carrying around what is essentially a fucking bomb in my bag. So I'm just gonna go up to one of my party members and be like, hey, so I found this deck of cards. I'm wondering if you would like to hold on to it for me.
First of all, if your DM's handing out the deck of many things, yeah, there's already a red flag.
Yeah, but second of all, like, you hear though what I'm saying though. It's not anti-party to do that. To give it to someone else in the party. Okay? The anti-party part of what I've done though is I basically lied about what it is. That's how I can maintain the whole, oh yeah, no, I'm actually evil. But I'm not taking, but I'm not abusing my party members.
This is something that most people will do whenever it comes to this fight. They'll go into this room, they'll take that desk right there that we're doing, and they'll slam it right in front of the door and open the door, move the desk, take a shot with like a Starion, immediately move the desk back, and then close the door. This is very normal for this because that desk has like an HP bar that we need to break through. However, the part that makes this like really hard though is you're gonna notice that it's already taking damage. This barbarian right here, if it breaks, we're fucked.
Yeah. But you hear though what I'm saying with it though. Okay.
I see no reason to be playing I see no reason to be playing a evil character in a campaign where, as the DM, I remind you guys are heroes.
Yeah, that's the other thing right there is...
If you guys are meant to be heroes, then why are you an evil character? You could say, oh, I'm a hero who's just, like, secretly, like, the villain and taking advantage of that. That's fine. But at the end of the day, just remember, it's not just your rep. It's the other party members, too. And I like to punish people who fucking jump out of this... Oh, I forgot to close the door.
Yeah. I mean, here's my thing as well with it, is... Evil characters are such a conundrum for me because as a DM, because it's like evil player characters. Because on the one hand, yeah, I understand everybody wants to be a bad guy. Some people just want to play the villain. They want to blow off steam, they want to be a villain, they want to be a bad guy for a little bit. Here is my fucking problem. Okay, is from the player's perspective, not talking to us that, hey, I'm going to be playing a evil character.
I think I've told you this story before, but I don't think I've said it on chat before, but I'll let them know. My first time ever playing D&D was an interesting one because the person one of the people we were playing with, again, it was my first time ever playing, so please understand I did make a self-insert as my character. I didn't know what else to do. I think everyone's probably done something like that at some point. Or not even just a self-insert, but like they've done something that's just very a cringe, lawful, stupid, good paladin, pretty much. I wasn't even a paladin, I was just a fighter. But like I was new to the thing, and I think my players and DM understood that. And I think at the time I was also known for being what I want to call main character syndrome, where I kind of made the story revolve around me more than anyone else, and trying to take the spotlight even from the DM, which never do that, by the way, ever. We are fucked, by the way.
So yeah, like literally my first D&D character was just my persona, because obviously I didn't know what else to do.
But yeah, did she die? Oh, Valentina's dead.
Damn.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
She's fucking dead.
She is, though. And welcome to Hardcore. She dead, by the way.
Damn.
Let's have some carnage.
Fools these mortals be.
what do I do about her dying? That's the real question here.
Maybe replace her with a there's like companions that Withers like can give you.
No, I don't want to melee though. Calm the fuck down. What was I saying?
I speak.
Before this. Oh yeah, that was what I was saying. I made a self-insert character, so I understand I was new. My party seemed to understand that. It consisted of a monk human, a tiefling bard who was... I won't get into that one. That was a technical part of the story. A Goliath barbarian. That's our problem player, by the way. You would think I was talking about myself as the problem player. Fuck no. No, I am not the problem player in this situation. And everyone agreed to it. Let's see here. And then there was the DM, and then there's Raiko did join in. The wife did join in at one point. Okay, so you even need to come back.
Death's close at hand.
Rested enough.
Alright, now here's the fun part. I don't remember this. What subclasses do we have for fucking Bard? Is Nick's gone?
Yeah, he did have to. He did have to go to work, so.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's just me here.
But yeah, I did have a party that was consisted of that group I just mentioned. The party, we had myself as a human fighter. I mean, I pretty much played it black and white as I could.
Yeah.
What I remember was the following: I was playing as a human that was like an ancient species of human. They are a very old species of human that existed long ago. You know what? Imagine Fallout 4's intro, but these humans were given unique abilities to tap into magic through the use of... It was like a sci-fi campaign where each of like the different realms, like the mortal realm, the Feywild, so all that, they were like planets instead of like realms. It was very interesting. But it was... I was playing a human that had nanomachines built into the back of her neck, like a transmitter. She was able to cast spells through it, and that's the reason why she was a Eldritch Knight. And I remember the party at some point were all like, dude, your character is like very... Talking to my character, the party's all like, femme, you are very out of date. Your clothing and armor are going to stand out. We need to get you something more modern and fast before you make us like a sore thumb, because like we're already wanted for interacting with the past relics and stuff, because crime stuff from one of the party members, more than likely the bard, by the way. What happened is I get my character a bunch of new armor and stuff. We go out, we head out to one of the other like ancient like ruin locations. Like we were all, again, that's what we're requesting to do. Oh, College of Whispers isn't in this. What the fuck? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you know something I was thinking.
But what happened is... Hold on a second, sorry.
It's fine.
What happened was... Oh god. What happened was really fucking stupid in my eyes. Our entire party got caught in between the BBEG, and the BBEG just fucking throws a fucking black dragon at us immediately. And before I can do anything, the DM mentions how I feel my nanomachines shutting down, and it literally forces my character unconscious. The barbarian rushes over to try and grab me, approaching the dragon, by the way. So he's grabbing me and approaching the dragon like he's going to fight the dragon. He dies, my body gets knocked back, the rest of the party drives me off. He makes a new character that is a dwarf artificer, because his background of artificer was like first coming out. It was like first like 5th edition kind of stuff. And from what we were all told, the character was just a dwarf who wanted to make machine or just metal in general, like swords and shields and stuff, come to life. Awakens shit. So what happened is this motherfucker ended up doing a completely different character than what we were told. he brings us a dwarf who's apparently missing both of his legs, but not because they're missing, but because they're made out of bones. Apparently, he made a necrophycer kind of deal, and he has this pet goat that follows him around that's just a dead goat, constantly smelling and everything. The DM finally asks him, "What the fuck is this shit?" because it's not the character he promised he was going to bring. To which he said, "Oh, I made a few changes," or "I guess I didn't tell you everything, did I?" Which is the first thing you should never tell your DM, ever. Is, "Oh shoot, I forgot to tell you that I'm just gonna do whatever the fuck I want," basically. The first thing this guy comes over and does, and I remind you, I'm decked out in armor. And I mean decked out. My whole entire body is completely covered. Even the helmet, the face, everything. You can't even tell if I'm another race. And at this point, I made it so like my character was like super buff and basically almost looks like a guy. This is before I came out, so of course I made an actual trans character. And the first thing he does is he doesn't interact with any of the party. He doesn't even say hi, doesn't say anything. As soon as he sees my character, no one else's, he comes over to my character and goes, "Ah, you must be like one of those ancient specimen humans. Can I have your body whenever you die?" This is a complete stranger my character has never met at all. I just want people to understand that whenever we go back to the situation of, what the fuck, bro? Everyone's standing there quiet, clueless, they don't know what to say, they don't know what to do. Eventually I just go, "Excuse me," and he goes, "Well, you're like one of like those older humans and such." The DM finally speaks up saying, "Technically you wouldn't know that because you have not been with them on any of the ancient ruins." "Yeah, but isn't it like common knowledge that there was like ancient human races?" "Yes, but you wouldn't have known that about the human races." Eventually I speak up and I said, "Can I attack him?" He goes, "Why would you do that?" And I went, "Because this is fucking creepy. If someone came over to you and said if they can have your corpse whenever you died, as if that's something they can just ask you, wouldn't you want to just do something about it?" I'm just gonna knock him on his ass. No damage, knocked him on his ass. That was this. What really got going is he eventually did keep this character around. This character was an absolute fucking creep. Turns out he enjoys not turning machine into living things. He wants to amplify dead creatures, including himself and other people, may I add, with machinery to basically raise them up as machine zombies and have an undead army. To which now you know why he wanted my body. He didn't. He claimed originally want to study it. Turns out recently we only found out that no, actually he's just a fucking freak who just wanted to do that. And then eventually the point came up in the campaign that technically there was no way he could have told that I was human, let alone even a female at that point, because like I said, still transitioning into as a character, and I didn't come out yet. There was no way he could have known. That whole interaction didn't make sense. Eventually, that character was smited by a god because he kept backtalking the god about how they haven't proved they're a god, even though they literally just proved it in front of us by making us level 10.
So, so literally the part of Baldur's Gate 3 where you meet Vlaakith and you can just like shit
Yeah.
talk her.
Yeah, you can like shit talk her and she just instantly smites your ass. Yeah, that happens.
Yeah.
He's an idiot. And the one part that everyone forgets, we still play with him to this day, unfortunately.
Damn.
I mean, I asked the DM, or I asked Jack whenever it came to DMing, like, can we not have him in the campaign? Oh well.
Yeah. Yeah, also can I point something out?
Go for it.
Your character also sounds like the species that Aragorn from Lord of the Rings is, because I didn't know this until recently, but he's not a human. He's just a species that looks like a human, but they either don't physically age or they physically age slower than humans. So basically a Saiyan situation.
Yeah. I guess
Because
kinda, yeah, if you think about that.
yeah, because Aragorn like says in one scene that he's actually like 89 or something, even though he looks 20. Which is
Myself
yeah,
to a battle master, get some rally.
which is yeah, because he's a different species than a human. which I did not know.
Yeah.
Do be a jockey.
How goes the stream?
I'm just about to end soon.
Hmm.
Honestly, right now, actually. Take a long
I
rest
found
and
a
end.
silly
Okay.
ass enchantment to put in a deck.
Oh, you got a new magic one going?
Firstly, I'm making a Ditto card. And then secondly, I want to use a silver border enchantment because it's silly. You know what it is?
Let's hear it.
So it's called censorship. You get to pick a word, and when a player says the word, censorship will deal 2 damage to them.
Says the word? Or plays
Yeah,
the
whenever
card
they say
with
the
said
word.
word?
No. Whenever they verbally say the word.
That's...
And it was shown to me when the player that cast it chose the word I.
No lock, no handle. What does it open? Something good here.
Can you imagine how funny that would be whenever I'd play that against Kira or Jack?
Jack would lose it.
I
Jack
know,
would
but it'd be
fucking lose it.
hilarious.
Because Jack Jack stumbles on using the same phrase over and over again. Just
And
make
he's
the word
always, in
just
response
make the
to
word
I
and
will
we're
say,
done. Make the word and he's just putting everything away. He's going back to bed.
yeah, make it,
Rethinking life choices.
well, or okay.
Yeah, well, okay. Actually, make it actually, and he's probably the first one out.
It's just so hilarious because then you could just pick some really common word and watch everybody slowly ping themselves to death.
Just use the word card. Card, mana, creature, summon, cast.
I'll just use the word for.
Alright, let's get a save here, and then, yeah, I think I'm good for the. So, yeah, I'm gonna insert in here, guys.
Alright.
You did
And
good.
then, by the looks of it, probably gonna use a bathroom break, honestly. I kind of
Fair
need
Yeah,
enough.
you know, you probably
Yeah. With the